Alright folks, I had no intentions whatsoever of making a video on this August 3rd of a Sunday, especially right after I finished up the video that I had about Israel Part 2. But I felt it absolutely necessary because the situation warrants it, okay? Now, I'm going to come clean with everybody here on this video today. The Lord has a tendency to show me some things. He doesn't show me everything. He doesn't show me specific dates. He doesn't show anybody that, guys. And remember, there's only one Jesus Christ. And he come and he went, and the next time that he comes, he's not going to be in the fleshly form, folks. He's going to come from the east, and every eye shall see him, okay? But I can bring several people to your attention, and they will tell you that when the church of Notre Dame burnt down, 2 months before that church burnt down, I knew it. And I told a lot of people that that church was going to burn. I seen the steeple falling in my dream. And I said to myself, there's only one place that steeple could have been. And I knew that it was a church in Europe. I just couldn't put my finger on it. Finally, I found it. And then 2 months later, it burnt down, guys. Symbolizing the falling away of the church here in the United States. Now, 6 months ago, I started having this really weird feeling about August the 8th of this year. And you can ask anybody again around me. I've been telling them the week of August the 8th is going to be something else. And they're like, well, what are you seeing, Jerry? I don't know, folks. I don't know. I'm just telling you what the Lord has showed me. See, the number 88 is occultic. And it's a resemblance of the hourglass, and it's a resemblance of the end of time. Okay? And so people's like, oh, Jerry, you know, I just don't know about this. You're saying August the 8th, the week of August the 8th is going to be something else? Yeah, that's exactly what I tried to tell them. I told them months ago it was going to be. Didn't know what was going to go on, okay? Now, this morning we've got a storm that's coming here toward Florida. It is going to dump a bunch of rain this week, for one thing. That's pretty mild compared to the other two things I'm going to tell you. Yesterday we had a shooting in El Paso in which 20 people were killed. Now this morning I'm informed that we've had another shooting in Ohio in which 10 people were killed, okay? And this is all leading up to this August 8th week that the Lord warned me about. I can already see it coming. And so apparently there's something to this. Him showing me this stuff. Now let me tell you something, folks. This whole thing about the gun situation, it's unbelievable in this country, okay? I don't know what exactly is going on because I can't tell you for sure. And obviously it's a really horrible thing when people get killed and when school shootings happen and things like that. But folks, it's also a big, huge coincidence too when some of the same people that's in the Nevada shooting is also in the California shooting. And they say they lost people, and then they catch them on camera smiling down the road from that. That's not good. Sort of makes it look like people are reading from a script, folks. But I'm telling you right now, this whole thing about these guns, folks, yeah, sure, criminals don't need to have guns. People who are intending to hurt other people don't need to have guns, okay? But taking guns out of the ordinary citizen's hands, no, that's not a good thing, folks. Because let me tell you something. History shows it, that when they take the guns up, the governments of the world through the years, when they take the guns up, they kill you. All you got to do is take a look at the history of tyrannical governments and see what I'm telling you. And folks, they're wanting the guns out of this country really bad, okay? And I get the feeling, I'm not checked into any of these shootings, but I get the feeling that what they're going to do they're going to do it exactly like the Nevada shooting. These people went and got these guns all nice and clean. They filled out paperwork like they should have. They followed all the rules and regulations. And then they went right out here and they killed these people with these high-capacity weapons. So they can blame it on the system instead of blaming it on criminality. Okay? I really just get the feeling that's what it's going to be. Now, it may or may not. I don't know. But I think it's awfully strange that all these shootings just start occurring the way they do. And isn't it awfully weird that these shootings get kicked back up to this magnitude the very week that the 88 occultic number is coming up on the date, on the calendar? Do you find that weird? Do you think that's a coincidence? But now, guys, when they took the Lord out of school, when they took paddling out of school, the cops showed up. Okay. Back when I lived in the Blue Ridge Mountains and we were growing up, we used to bring guns to school in our cars, in our pickup trucks, because everybody hunted. If you did that today, they'd put you in a penitentiary. Everybody did, even the teachers. Coach Crabtree, when I was in high school, he would bring his bow and other weapons with him because why? He hunted. He hunted in the afternoon and so on and so forth. So you see, back in the 1980s, folks, when everybody had a strong belief in the Lord, we didn't have the cops in school. You know, we didn't have this whole thing, this fear that somebody was going to get shot up, because all of us, we were kids that were being raised right and raised within the guidelines of the Lord. And when the Lord left the schoolhouse, that was when the cops showed up and the shooting started, okay? But my advice to the Christians in this nation, and I'm going to tell you a little bit later why I feel this way, do not give up your guns under any circumstances. I'm going to tell you something right now. If the Christians in this nation give up their guns, you're dead. I'm going to tell you straight up, you're dead. Because right now, whether you realize it or not, there's a plot underway right now to kill the Christians in this nation anyway. Now, you're going to say, gosh, Jerry, that comes as a big surprise you saying that, okay? I'll show you later. I'll show you exactly what's going on. And it's all been hid underground. It's all being done really slick, so that it can all be set up to where nobody knows what's going on. Okay? So I thought I'd make this video real quick this morning. I want everybody to be on alert this week. Because this 88, August the 8th, the end of time, it's not a good thing. It's an occultic number. And this week is starting out with a lot of activity resembling the end of time occultism. 2 shootings in 2 days, right at the beginning of this very week, which so happens to have a very occultic number in it, just like IXXI of 9/11. You go right into the different things that the Pope has, and some of these cathedrals and stuff of some of these cults, they got IXXI wrote everywhere, 9/11. Think that's a coincidence, folks? That's what I'm trying to tell you. Information is pouring in from everywhere. And people are beginning to wake up and beginning to see this stuff. So I thought I'd make this quick video and be on alert today. And do not give your guns up under any circumstances. One more thing before I leave. I don't know if there's going to be any riots or anything this week because of this. But I got something I want to bring your attention about these riots, okay? These people that gets involved in these riots about guns needs to be taken up and so forth. If they're out there rioting on a Tuesday, a Wednesday, or a Thursday, or whatever they are, why ain't these people working a job instead of out there telling a taxpayer like me what I need to do with my firearms? Because the way that I look at it is, if they're out there doing that, they're not working, are they? And if they're not working, they're not paying taxes. And if they're not paying taxes, they shouldn't have the right to tell me what to do with anything. I'm just telling you straight up the way I feel. If you're not paying taxes in this country, you shouldn't be allowed to vote, which I don't think your vote matters in this country anyway. We're not electing presidents in this country. But I just thought I'd put this video out here real quick. I don't want to see people out here on these streets in the middle of this week trying to tell me, the taxpayer, who works 55 and 60 hours a week, what I should do with my guns. Okay? When you're out here on this street in the middle of the day, obviously not working, obviously not paying taxes. I don't want to hear it, folks. You should have no voice in this government to begin with. Why? Because you're not creating a pool of money to structure this government, to structure things for the people. So, this thing about these people riding in the streets, ask yourself with a discerning mind, do these people have jobs that they're going to? Obviously not, because they're right in the middle of the streets day after day doing this. Like a traveling circus that's being sponsored by something. See, you can figure it out and connect the dots if you just will. Okay? Thank you very much for hearing me out, and be careful this week. August the 8th, 88, a occultic number of the end of time. I had a bad feeling about this week, okay? Just be careful.